if you look at the genetics of an individual and the genetics of a population, the continent of Africa is arguably the most genetically diverse continent on planet Earth. Now, why is that important? It's important because there is a relationship between the genetics of a population, the social, economic, and physical environment in which patients live, and effective treatment outcomes. Therefore, doing the research in close proximity to where the patients are is really, really important. In drug discovery, you have to kiss many frogs before you meet the prince. And that's the nature of the business that we're in. So when I say it takes a long time, it can be anything from 10 to 15 years if you are successful. Now, of course, miracles do happen, and they can happen. And I'll give you one practical example of what we have achieved in H3D. A project that we worked on with the Medicines for Malaria Venture, MMV. The drug that we discovered in 2012, that when the announcement was made, it took us less than 2 years. Normally it would take 6 years. That was a miracle. That compound reached phase 2 of human trials. It didn't proceed for other reasons that we decided to stop the development so we could understand some of the issues that we were seeing in other studies that we did. So that is already a remarkable success to get something that actually goes into people. When drugs fail, before clinical trials and during, most of the reasons why they fail is safety. If you look at just the number of clinical trials that happen on this continent of Africa, compared to what happens globally, it's less than 2%, not more than 2% of those trials happen in Africa. Which means that the volunteers in the clinical trials, in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, largely come from the global north, which means the dosages, the dosing regimen, the frequency of dosing, how much dose they should get is optimized on those people that take part in the trial. Now, on one hand, we've seen the blueprint that COVID has provided, where it was possible in record time to deliver safe and efficacious vaccines. So what we are using artificial intelligence for is to search our collection of chemicals, or molecules that we have accumulated over the last 12 years from our different programs, which have been well characterized and profiled, so that we can prioritize those that are likely to work on COVID. The second thing that the Newton Fund enabled, with real unquantifiable benefits going forward, is when, after those initial seed grants under the Newton Fund, there was then an opportunity to scale up on the initial Newton Fund. And this time, it involved a partnership between the UK Medical Research Council and the South African Medical Research Council. H3D was selected to host a national South African screening platform, a platform that would enable the evaluation of many possible starting points from these two large consortia groups between the UK and South African institutions, so that we can provide this central facility for them to submit their various potential starting points or chemical libraries, for them to screen them on a number of AMR pathogens and therefore provide them with clues as to what they can start with, that we can also then partner with them. So it's building this local capacity to provide a national and international screening platform resource. I had 5 postdoctoral scientists in just chemistry in 2011. Today, as I speak to you, we have more than 75 people across chemistry, biology, and pharmacology. Historically, the health innovation that has led to major developments, for example, with new vaccines or medicines, has largely taken place in the global north. It's also now time for us in Africa to reciprocate and contribute to addressing these health challenges, to lead efforts